Hey there, I picked this up today at Best Buy. They were selling it for like $60. And the reason I got it is I'm part of that old generation that grew up with the Nintendo Entertainment System. And so it's nostalgic for me. And so I guess I'm just going to do an unboxing. And see what there is, see what's in the box. There's a little glare with the light above me, so I'm gonna try to do this so it doesn't get in the way. Oh, let's see here. Blast from the Past: Return of the all-time fan favorite Nintendo Entertainment System. This mini-sized NES Classic Edition system is packed with 30 pre-installed classic Nintendo Entertainment System games from the 80s, fully loaded and ready to play using the original style NES Classic controller. And that would be it right there. Games: Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, Pac-Man, Kirby's Adventure. Of course, The Legend of Zelda, you got to have that one. Donkey Kong. Legend of Zelda, man, that was a magical game back in the day. I mean, I don't know what else. Let me check this back out here. Look at that, Final Fantasy? Ice Climber, I remember that one. Kid Icarus. Yep, remember that one too. Look at these. Mega Man 2. Yep, Super Mario 1 and 2. Super Mario 3 over there. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Wow. Balloon Fight. I vaguely remember that one. See, I must have been 8, 9, 10 or something when the Nintendo Entertainment System came out, and my family bought it, and they got the R.O.B the robot that came with the Nintendo, and it came with, let's see here, there were 2 games it came with. One of them was Gyromite, and you had to use R.O.B the robot to open up the, I don't know what you call them, the portals or the walls and stuff, so you can get through the levels. Essentially, it was a Donkey Kong-esque. There you go. It was kind of like that, Gyromite. You just had one screen to play on, and then you had all of these doors or portals that you had to open up to get through, and you had to use R.O.B the robot. He would spin these gyros, and when they were sufficiently, I guess, spun, then you could take those gyros, and so what he would do is you could control R.O.B the robot, and he would take a gyro, this little kind of spinny top looking thing, and there were 2 of them, I think. There were 2 spinny top things, and it would spin, and he would take it, and he would move it to the gyro spinner. It was basically a little computer, or not computer, like a little machine that would just spin. It would just, whenever the gyro went in there, it would spin up, and then when the gyro was spinning, you could control him and have him pick it up, and he would put it down. You could pick it up, and he would put it down on top of a little platform, and the platform was all connected to the controller number 2, which was the A and B button. And the platform, when he placed the gyro on the platform, it would press the A button. There were 2 platforms, right? One would press the A button, one would press the B button. And then you had these walls on Gyromite that had to open up or close. And you had to keep those open, right? So when the gyro was spinning on the A button, it would open up like the red doors and the red portal or doors, whatever. And it would stay open, right? As long as the gyro was spinning on that button, okay, on the platform, which controlled that button. It kept the button down, right? And then there were little critters and stuff that were trying to get you on the game too. So I think you could, I don't know if there's a way to kill them by yourself, but if you didn't want them to get you, you would have to close up the gates so they wouldn't get to you. So it was nice to open those gates up and keep them open, but if the critters were going to get you, you had to take the gyro off of the platform with Rob, and then he could put it back somewhere and just allow the gate to come back up. And then there had two different colored gates, so you had to control the A button and the B button with those two gyros. And then depending on what was going on, you either had to synchronize it so like they were both pushing down, or one of them was pushing down and one of them was up. And then when these critters were trying to get you, you had to close gates and open them, just depending on where you had to go. It was pretty revolutionary at the time. This is back in 1980, I guess it would have been like mid 80s. It was pretty cool. The concept was cool. You only could use Rob for maybe one or two games, Rob the robot. And anyway, it was really cool. But the cheat for the game was if you didn't want to use Rob the robot because he was too slow, and he just, sometimes he was just too slow, and you didn't want to wait for him to spin these gyros and put them on the platform. So you would just have your friend open and close the gates with the A-B button, just take the controller himself and just open and close them. So it was a cool game, but there was definitely a way to get around. There were some loopholes, I guess. So Gyromite, NES Classic. It was like the first game I ever played with Nintendo. Anyway, I don't know if they have it here. They probably don't. What else they got? Donkey Kong Jr., got Legend of Zelda 2, Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania, awesome. I mean, these are all the classics. Dr. Mario, great. Excite Bike, look at that. Man, I just remember all the commercials and stuff for these things, for these games, and it was like you were in another world. You transported to another world and you watched these commercials, and you went and played the games, and I mean, they sold it right, I mean, you played these games and they were cool. They were exactly as they advertised on TV. Very cool. All right, so let's do the unboxing, man. I've been talking too much, but let's see. How do we? I wonder if there's any tape we gotta. Well, you know what? There's a. That's easy enough. Again, I got this at Best Buy, $60. Now, my wife likes the old style games too, especially Super Mario Brothers. And I wanted to get a second controller so she and I could both play, but Best Buy apparently was out of stock for those controllers. So I'm just going to have to find one on Amazon and get it shipped quickly. I mean, maybe Best Buy has a quick shipping policy anymore, but that was just what we did. That's what I did. That's all I could do is get the console with the one controller today. So let's see. And the Best Buy was telling me it was hard to get it. I mean, it was hard to keep these things in stock, even the Nintendo, the classic Nintendo box. So, all right, it's probably some kind of a cool poster. What is this here? I mean, it's like a throwback. It's a throwback poster. Look at this. Look at this thing. Yes. Yes. Oh, look at that. It's Rob the Robot, man. Look. Okay. So you would take your controller and you would put it in here, slot it, what do you call? You'd stand it up, horizontally place it in there. And there is, these are the two platforms that the gyros would spin on. And as you can see, they're connected to where the controller would be. That's where they would press on those on the keys, the A and B button right there. And then I think, man, where? Oh, here we go. So that's where the gyro spinner. I don't know what else to call it. The gyro spinner. I'm not very technical or scientific on this, but the gyro spinner would be here. He would grab the gyros from over here. This is where your stock of gyros would be. So he'd grab like one or two. Yeah, he would grab each of one of them. There were two of them that were going to be on each of these. This is where they stored them. He stored them right there, and then when he needed to use them, see, he's basically really what's the word? Just simple physics and a simpler time. And so he would take them, he would lift them up, right? And then he had these claws, and he could open and close them. And, based on what you told him to do, he would open and close them. He would open them, close them to put them in the gyro spinner. He would close it up, bring it over, and you tell him to put it on the A or B button, and that's what he would do. And then you could play Gyromite. It's pretty cool. I think the other one we got must have been Duck Hunt, because I know we had Duck Hunt, and then we had the game. I think it was like a whole package. Here we go. Yep, that's what it was. So it was Duck Hunt and Gyromite. So we got the gun and we got the robot. It was like the whole package. It was pretty cool. Sweet. Of course, nobody really ever... I mean, Duck Hunt was fun, but most of the kids, they would just go right up to the screen, point blank, and kill the birds. So, anyway. Because nobody liked that dog laughing at you whenever you missed. All right, so that's an awesome throwback poster. I love it. Classic. I love it. Okay, and then you got your startup instructions here, which I can do later. Okay, on to the good stuff, right? And there's your warranty obligatory information. Oh my goodness. This has got to be the console. I mean, it's totally small. Right? It's like maybe a third or a quarter of the size of the actual console that you had back in the day. I might just have to go to my mom and dad's house, because I think they still have it, the original one, and I have to whip that thing out. But that's pretty small. I mean, that's small, right? But it's cool. There's where you put your controllers, 1 and 2. Power button, right? So power and reset. Power, turn it on. Reset was if there's some kind of glitch with your game or whatever, you just push the reset button real quick, and it wouldn't necessarily turn the system off. It would just reset it to like maybe the home screen or something. So that was it. Now, of course, you had different connections. Let's see. Today, this being 2018, it's going to use an HDMI cable. And there's your DC, and this is for your power. So very simple. But back in the day, it was like the 2-prong audio video cables that you plugged in here, and then you hooked it up to your TV. So the red and white or red and yellow cables. Anyway, okay. There's this is essentially the same size though as the original ones, the original controllers. Now I think I remember if you go online or if you go to Amazon or whatever and try to buy another controller, I think they're like $12 or $13. And I don't know if that's on sale or not, but that's what I saw it for the other day. There you go. Interesting trivia about this controller. And I wonder if they even have the game Contra. You guys know, if you're an old schooler like me, you know the code for Contra. So you get like the 30 or 40 lives. It would give you, it was up, down, left, right. Right? A, B, B, A, select start or something like that, or start. Yeah, that was the code, I think. Up, down, left, right. A, B, B, A. I think so. Now, I remember that Contra code, I think it was on Jeopardy one time. And I think the guy got it right. And this was several years back. But Jeopardy, they said what do you call it? The answer is up, down, left, right, A, B, B, A, start. And you had to answer, of course, in the form of a question. And the guy was, they said, what is the code to Contra or something like that. So I just think that's funny. Such a simple thing for for us to remember, and yet so profound that it would be on Jeopardy. So, okay, so that's the controller. I guess we can take it out of the package here. Okay. Is that the same? No, it is not the same connection of the old school one, but this is, you know, that's just what it is nowadays. There you go. Very cool. I mean, it's totally classic. I love it. What else do we got in the box? Okay. Here's your power brick, whatever you call it. Plugs that right in the wall. A little USB. You get the 8 DC in, is that what they called it? Yeah, the DC in cable. Oh, how do I do this here? I think hopefully you just lift up. There you go. There you go. Okay. This is your HDMI. They give you an HDMI cable. How nice of them. That's great. And there's your DC in. Okay. I don't think I need to open it for you guys. Hey, it comes in a nice little Ziploc. Disconnect cable and unplug AC adapter when not in use. And that's in, looks like, I don't think that's Spanish. It's got to be French. I don't know. There's other languages in here too. Oh, you got, yeah, there's your Spanish. And that would be your Japanese. So, all right. That's the extent of my knowledge on foreign language right there. Okay. And that's it. That's all you got. That's the system. So, again, we'll do the whole lineup here. You get the console itself, the controller, power brick with the DC in cable, and an HDMI cable. Get my foot out of the way. And that's it. I can't wait to get this thing set up. All right. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it. This is good times. So share it.